Welcome back to Bread and Butter, everybody. This is episode 31. As always, I am Doc McButt with my co-host Tito. Tito, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing good. And this week, back again, we have MattAtArms. Matt, how are you doing today?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. Had a very good day, and I'm enjoying it with some nice toast and butter. Oh, it's bread and butter, but toast is also bread.
Yeah, when the show's done, we're toast. So
Exactly.
We're fully cooked, perfect golden brown.
We're just sitting in the toaster right now. The heating elements are to the side of us, glowing. We're making a nice piece of toast for y'all to consume. Right? Is that how this works?
Well, actually, I've never thought of it like that. But yeah, we start off as bread, we end up as toast. I mean, I know we say that we're toast at the end, but that actually makes sense progression-wise. Fantastic.
Yeah. See, you bring me along for the food analogies that I am apparently known for. I'm good at thinking about food and things, how they relate to other things. That's what I do. That's what I bring to the table for a podcast. Let me put it that way.
So while we're talking about food, I made 2 grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches today, and they were so good.
That sounds amazing.
So good. It's just like toasted sandwich, but just better.
See, I'm at the point where I'm in the part of TikTok where they show me grilled cheese sandwiches, but there's people seasoning the butter on the grilled cheese before they put it on the pan, with different like oregano and other stuff, other shelf seasoning, right? Stick it in the butter and then stick it on the pan, butter side down, and I'm like, what? That sounds amazing. Let me do this. I want to do this. Yeah, it's like, okay, I know Ben Bro talked about mustard on the inside. That A+ tip. But also, I want to try some garlic salt or garlic powder mixed in with the butter and some oregano and stuff like that, and be like, okay, now I've knocked it up a level. So,
I've just discovered a new love language for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt, what have you been doing inside Hearthstone?
I've been playing not a lot of Hearthstone. I play in binges like I have been. This meta is not my favorite meta, but it's fine. It's I don't know. I'm done with the current set of standard. That's what I'm at. So I decided to stream. I was in a mood to stream the other night, so I fired up Classic because we had an announcement about the future of Classic, and I started playing Handlock, combo Handlock from the Vicious Syndicate report over a year ago. And it was fantastic. I had a great time. I went 21-5. I didn't start hitting bots until the last 5 games, which was great. Had a wonderful time. So after I was done streaming, I logged off, went to bed. And the next day I was still in the mood to play Classic. So I played some Miracle Rogue, and I played a bunch of Miracle Rogue. It's all against bots. I won all those games, and then I was like, I'll play some Zoo because the Zoo seems to work well against the bot decks. And yeah, I continued to play Zoo against bots and won all of those games. I did not drop a game. I stopped running into actual humans about gold 10, and then I won every game from gold 10 to legend because I was all looking at spots. I mean, yay.
Well,
and I also came in a 2700 legend, which is super wild to me. So, because there's enough people to be there that I'm at 2700 legend. So I like it. That's what I've been doing.
Thank you for quelling the AI and bot uprising.
I tried. I did my part.
Your hard work is appreciated.
Or I just made them matter. I'm not sure which.
Tito, what have you been doing inside Hearthstone?
I've just been I had 3 matches this week we had 2 for THL because they doubled up because we had so many weeks where it's like, well, you get 2 weeks this week because there was a patch. You get 2 weeks because there's a mini set. And they're like, you know what? We're running out of time. So instead of actually giving you 2 weeks again, we're going to give you 2 matches in 1 week, which was different. And the Coin Concede Listener Series started up this week, so I had 3 matches in a row. So I won all 3 of my matches. I ended up 4-4 in Pro League, which I'm very proud of because there is some ridiculous names out there, and Ridiculous Hat is one of them, obviously. But there's also his team. Ridiculous Hat's team has, I believe, McBannerface, Pocket Train, himself, and Ron Mexico. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's just like, I'm in that league, and it's weird. But I ended up, this season, I went 4-4, which I'm thrilled with, and I was one short of getting full value, one game short. I went 5 games every single week, except for the last game, which I went 3-1. So I almost ran the gambit of going every single game, which was something I wasn't shooting for it, but I liked it. But aside of that, I was playing some Battlegrounds, and I had a streak where I'm almost at 6,000. I had a streak where I went first place, or something like that, and I was pretty happy, and I'm like, I got this figured
Nice.
out. And then I figured, I just got to get over the hump the next day, and I went 8th place and 7th place and 8th place and whatever. So
Yeah.
you ride those streaks.
So the hump found you, you're saying?
The hump find me. I found the variance, but I
Yes.
mean, I had some insane builds with a lot of mechs and Quillbore. Oddly enough, I had a really good kind of hybrid half Quillbore, half mech deck, and it was weird, but it really worked. And it's just sometimes you just gotta roll with what you find. How about yourself, Doc? What have you been up to in Hearthstone?
Yeah, so I haven't touched any standard. Not since the balance changes. But I've been trying to play a lot of BGs and not having any success. Last week I was like almost 6,300. Now I think I'm back down to 6,000 over the course of like 12 games or so. And it's just, I can't get anything to work. I get close to getting builds to pop off, and then I just unfortunately take a bunch of damage and die. But it's been fun. I've been trying to do what Crip has done with the crazy Rylaic elemental builds and everything like that, trying to get crazy eco and all that. And I've gotten close to start popping off with some of those things, but not to his level of success. But it's been fun. I just probably 99.9% making the wrong plays most of the time. But that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I never figured out the Rylaic decks. Like, I see Rylaic pop up, and if I'm running a Beast comp or something like that, I'm like, he doesn't go in Beast comp, even though he's a Beast. So I'm like, I want nothing to do with this guy. And then, I don't know, I've just never really... I mean, he sounds like he'd be kind of fun if like you had like a Malagos type build and maybe a Bran, and you had a way to do it, but I've never...
Yeah, Pirates and Naga. You put them in between eco minions, and it'll help you eco. You can put him next to the Felemental, help build some stats.
Is that the Death Rattle battle trigger the battle cry person?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay, that's the name of that card. All right.
Yeah, so you put him next to the 3-1 and the 2-1,
And get
and then just
coins.
get gold and coins, and just can eco like crazy. Like there was a game Crip like floated 60 gold, and he hit the gold cap at 99.
Nice.
Like, yeah, it was fun to watch. So Matt, what have you been doing outside of Hearthstone?
Enjoying summer. Enjoying summer while I can, and also I'm working a lot. It's been kind of a really stressful few weeks at work, so I've been pulling too much time at work. But when I can, I'm enjoying summer. Went to an independent league baseball game tonight. Had a blast of a time. If you can find independent baseball in your area, I highly suggest it. It is the purest form of baseball, in my opinion. It is gentlemen between the ages of 20 and 25, 26, who are just trying to keep the flame alive, and just they're playing the best they can, and it's a lot of fun. And when there's success, everybody wins. It's independent league baseball is the best form of baseball you could possibly watch. So that's what I've been doing.
You can also find some older players too that just refuse to let go of the game, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
So,
we have
I mean-
we have a little local like a local group that runs 4 teams like within like 45 minutes away from me, and every once in a while I go to a game, and I remember how much I love the game of baseball, because I do watch the Tigers. The Tigers are fun to watch, but it's a completely different environment in the major leagues. So
My very first baseball game ever was the Seattle Mariners versus the Tigers.
nice.
yeah, I used to go. I used to have Red Sox season tickets, and then I decided, well, I could either buy a house or keep those tickets, and
Yeah.
we I bought a condo, but I haven't really watched. Like, I'm a diehard Red Sox fan all my life, but I haven't watched baseball since COVID. I don't have cable anymore. I cut the cord,
Oh,
and
it's yeah.
it is so expensive to try to watch your home team. The local, we have Nesson who does the Red Sox games, and it is like extraordinary amounts of money to stream, and I can't buy the major league package because they black out the local games.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's the same here. Like I have to subscribe to Bally Sports, which is the local sports channel, and that's like $20 a month to watch the Tigers and the Pistons and the Red Wings for a year. And I'm like, no, that's not worth it for me. Sorry.
I would pay $20 a month for the Red Sox if it was even close to that affordable.
Oh, really? Is it that
Yeah.
bad? Local?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, Doc, how about yourself? What have you been doing outside of Hearthstone?
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4. I beat the main story of Diablo 4. I sped ran it, did no side quests, beat the game at level 41. So now I have a lot of game homework to do to get to level 50, where the rest of the game opens up. The season 1 starts relatively soon, so I'm excited for that. I've been playing a lot of Raid Shadow Legends still. It's just a fun, just mindless, free-to-play game. It is monetized so heavily, and it's really upsetting. Like, just to get into the game, you have to click through, like, 2 screens. But playing it free-to-play, like, being able to talk about it with a couple of my friends, to me, makes having to click through those screens worth it. I'm never going to spend money on the game. I already have a game that I spend money on, and I don't need another one. Play D&D for the group that has my favorite character, which is a Goliath rogue who has big little man syndrome. So he's like 6 feet tall, but thinks he's like 2 feet tall. He thinks he's smaller than his gnome party member, and it's just this hilarious bit that's been going on forever. Like, the gnome climbs up onto his shoulder, stares at him in the eyes, and is like, I'm smaller than you. And Barnold is just like, no, like, Barnold's small, like, you're big. And then I watched the entire first season of Vinland Saga over the last couple days, and that is a fun Viking anime for folks that like to watch anime. So far, like, typical Viking story tropes where a father gets betrayed, son seeks vengeance and retribution. But it's just, I don't know, it's just a fun, different way for me to get into Viking stuff, because never played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, never got into the show Vikings. So it's just a different, fun avenue of getting into something that I'm not typically into. Tito, how about yourself?
Mostly just getting through the weeks up into my vacation next week, going to the House of Mouse with the family. Nice short trip, but it's going to be nice to go on vacation and then to have that vacation be in the rearview mirror to start, focusing on what's beyond the vacation. But aside from that, I had a little sad news, so you might want to skip ahead if you don't want to hear sad news about a pet. I had to put down one of my chickens. She got behind our coop, and like she got her leg stuck or something like that. I don't think another wild animal got to her, because we've lost some to bobcats before that have like trapped them behind things. But this one I think just kind of got herself like twisted around and stuck, and I gave him some lettuce and went to go. I'm counting. I only see 7, so I'm like, maybe one's still in the coop, and wasn't there. And I looked behind the coop, and there was those sad eyes that were just like, yeah, life's kind of not for me anymore. So I had to put her out of her misery, which was sad, but surprisingly easy to take care of. I'm kind of, you never want to do it, but when you have livestock like that, you're going to have to from time to time. So yeah, that was that. But aside from that, nothing much going on. Work's been work, and it's been starting to get hot again, and it's supposed to rain the entire week I'm gone, and it's supposed to be like 98 the entire week I'm in Florida, so what are you going to do about that? But Doc, oddly enough, I'm still hungry. So how about some appetizers?
Yeah, so Matt, for anyone who doesn't know already, what is Hearthstone Twist?
Twist is oh wait, there's something moved.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Doc. We missed the bonus question today.
Oh, Yeah, sorry. So more than likely, following the trends and patterns we've had for a very long time, we're on pace to get a new set announcement next week. Um, do any of you have like a fun guess on what you think the next set could be?
Matt, you go first. What do you got?
Oh, geez. I don't know. Part of me feels like we're probably going back to another era. I think we might be going back to like Outland or something and doing mech things again. I don't know. It feels like I feel like we need some Doctor Boom, and I want to do some Doctor Boom stuff. And Doctor Boom would be cool. And you know, I don't know. Either that or like there's the new Rafam portrait that's in the client that's not for sale yet, and I'm mad about that because I need to buy it. Maybe we're doing like the ethereal plane or something. I don't know. Something to do with ethereals. That'd be cool. Let's do that. I'm all for that.
I was gonna say I really like Matt's idea. I know Ben Heathstone thinks that one of the pictures that they shared, that Play Hearthstone shared for Father's Day, was like a teaser for the new expansion, which was a mech frog with a smaller frog on top of it. But I mean, they've been getting some crazy ideas recently, so I think it's really hard to pin down what it could be. I would love it to be for anything Matt said. I just want them to go back to Ungoro, personally, because I just like dinosaurs. I just want more like Devilsaurs, or maybe like a heavy Murloc themed expansion. Murlocs are super cool, and there's not a lot of them right now, so I would
Bring back Adapt and give it lifesteal and rush and make so we can make Galvadon better. Galvadon
and
Alaska
bring
Cyto better.
Megasaur to core.
There you go. Done.
And boom, set. Yeah, so I want either Ungoro theme or a Murloc themed expansion. How about yourself, Tito?
We're either going back to the mean streets of Gadgeton, and we're going to re-explore that area. My original thought was actually mechs, but Matt stole that, so we're going to have to go away from that.
Beat boop.
Or Dragonflight.
Do a tie-in with the expansion that's been out for a year.
What I've never understood is why they haven't coordinated like with the releases of these sets, because I understand if you're doing a story that's lasting all year like they've done, you can't do that, but you got a Warcraft set coming up. They know well in advance what it is. They know when it's coming out. Having a Hearthstone themed around the Warcraft theme that's coming out, whether it's goofy or not, doesn't matter. But like that just seems like that's like a perfect time to cross market, because you know they love to cross market. Like we have the Diablo 4 stuff, we have Diablo here. I'm surprised we didn't get Lilith in Overwatch 2 or something, but which I thought would have been cool. But I don't understand why they don't cross market things when they do that. Like let's have, especially with Warcraft, because this is Heroes of Warcraft, even if they refuse to acknowledge that anymore. So I think that honestly they really should, when they release the next WoW set, also release the Hearthstone set that is tied into that WoW set and just really build up interest. But yeah, Dragonflight.
Well, they kind of quasi did that with Shadowlands, because then Shadowlands came out, and then it wasn't the immediate next set, but like a set or two later, then Korra's set, Castle Nathria, came out.
That came out.
So they did it.
That came out during Dragonlance.
Oh, did it? So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like there's part of me likes that, but it also like it restricts the Hearthstone, because I don't know. I think WoW makes more money than Hearthstone currently. I'm guessing based on because they talk about it more than they talk about Hearthstone on the quarterly calls. I think that would restrict the kind of. I think that would also like kind of restrict whatever creative freedom I think Team 5 has, and I think as much as I would that would be cool for like the WoW player and like a Hearthstone player at the same time, like me as like who's never really touched WoW outside of Classic. Like, it's like, I could care less what WoW's actually doing, personally. Cause I like the theme and like the world that Hearthstone is trying to build. So,
it's fair. I just think that you could do a lot of like Hearthstone could still do Hearthstone thingies. I just think that you could integrate it, and then you could do the cross promotional stuff they want to. You could build up interest in both. You could have like, hey, play Hearthstone again, and you get that mount that's perfectly themed for the new expansion and vice versa or whatever. I think
Well,
there's opportunity there.
how about this for the next WoW expansion? They just do the Mean Streets of Gadgetzan like we had in Hearthstone, where it's like 3 factions and stuff like that. That'd be fun. I would actually might go into WoW and try that out. I don't know.
Well, and it's interesting. This is a little side jag, but like, so Warcraft had the same issue that Supernatural had, where they kept raising the stakes. So, like in Supernatural, it was first a demon, then it was lots of demons, then it was the devil, and then angels got involved, and then they went to purgatory. And like, well, what's next? And it's like, well, we've already killed the devil, so what do we do next? And same thing happened with WoW. We went from like, Illidan to, we've had old gods, and then we had the Lich King, which was like the big thing, and then like, well, where do we go from here? And then eventually we went for it, the Celestial Titans. And it's like, okay, where do we go from here? And everyone was expecting the big Void Disco War, but then it was like, okay, no, we're gonna have to bring it back, and let's go to Shadowlands. And that was kind of a side. Like, now we've broken the existential barrier, and now we're talking life and death. Where do we go from there? And they're like, okay, let's just bring it back and go ahead of time. Let's just go to dragons. Let's do dragons. So it's hard to sometimes refocus those things, especially when you keep rebuilding the stakes every time. So it was the same thing that's happened with the show Supernatural. Like, where do we go from here? And now, like in the final season, or the seasons before the final season, they ended up fighting British people, and then God. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's going to be Dragonflight, or probably not. But anyway. So sorry, Doc. I didn't mean to interrupt. I segued you to the segment, and then I segued you out of the segment. So I'm going to segue you back into the segment.
Yeah. So Matt, for people that don't know, do you want to explain what Hearthstone Twist is?
Sure. Hearthstone Twist is a new format that's taking over Classic, and is going to be a rotating rule set format where they or it sounds like what they're going to do is have these sets are legal, here's a twist on the rules. So the first season that we're going to have for June and July is going to be what they're calling New Age, which starts at Ashes of Outland and includes the Demon Hunter Initiate set, according to Ridiculous Hat, all the way to the current set in Hearthstone and whatever the future set in Hearthstone will be, coming out whenever. But the twist on it is there are no neutral cards available. So that includes discovers, that includes deck building, that includes discovers. It also includes evolve effects. So like if you evolve a board using Evolve Shaman, all the cards you get are going to be class cards. If you do a discover, all you're going to be offered are class cards. If when you're building a deck, it's going to be 30 cards because one, Renathal doesn't exist in this format because he's a neutral. It's going to be 30 cards, all class cards. And you might think that a deck like Pure Paladin might have an advantage based on what I've seen in testing. It really doesn't. So it's going to be an interesting format. This format's going to be super interesting, at least, because it's a brand new format and a bunch of people are going to play it. So
I'm very excited for it. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's close enough that I'll take it, because I was wanting like a Tavern Brawl or a mode that was just rotating different sets. Mm-hmm. And I know I had shared this, I think, the last time you were on, actually. Yeah. And this is very close. This is basically, I guess it's kind of like Magic Arena Cube. It's kind of like running a Magic Cube.
It basically is this is the format I've been asking for I think years now on several different podcasts that I've been on. I'm glad they finally listened. This is my idea. No, this is not my. No. This is. I'm glad they're trying it out. I'm glad they're doing okay. Like, this mode Classic is been fallow for 2 years. Let's do something with this ladder that would be different and fun. And that's what they're doing. And like, I'm excited. Like, this like, I saw the teaser for this format. I'm like, what is this? I read it, and then I just was like, I had a moment where I was just so incredibly happy and excited to try it out. So,
yeah, it should be great. You covered this, but for the sake of asking it
Yeah.
again, what does the first season of Twist look like?
Yeah. So it's it's gonna be all it's so New Age, which is basically what they're calling Hearthstone Modern, because it starts with the Demon Hunter set in Ashes and goes all the way current Hearthstone. And the twist is no neutral cards. So
We're just gonna call it the COVID era Hearthstone.
I mean, basically,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to draw the line there because that's when they introduced the first brand new class
Yep.
with Demon Hunter. So it's like, okay, this is now the modern line on Hearthstone, and like I was thinking maybe it would go back to Rise of Shadows, but that was back when they still only had 9 classes. So that makes more sense to put the line at Demon Hunter.
So, what are we worried the most about with Twist?
Sure. I'm most worried about maybe a format not working or not jiving with the population, and then kind of falling off the mode for a month, and then maybe not, or not having the return to the mode once something more fun comes back. Maybe that happens. Also, I'm worried about some of the content creators focusing so hard on standard that Twist doesn't exist. I mean, because it's a third ladder. Because Wild doesn't exist to a lot of these people. Twist may not as well. So that's my biggest worry. But I'm going to play it no matter what.
Yeah, I'm in that boat with you too. With competitive Hearthstone being the way it is right now, and the only way to make that viable is to get those high end finishes. Adding another game mode for people is, I don't know. I'm gonna play it though because it's essentially what I've asked for and have been hoping for so long. A thing I had just thought of though, Death Knight is gonna have significantly less cards than everyone else with this.
Yeah, it loses. Basically, Death Knight only has the cards it currently has. There's not going to be any. They're not going to add any cards to Death Knight, and a lot of the Death Knight decks really rely on those neutral Discover cards, like Nerubian Vizier and a bunch of others, and a few others in the deck. Those are not available. Like Frost Death Knight, the beginning half of Frost Death Knight is neutral decks or neutral cards. Because it's built as a neutral. Undead Death Knight, same thing. Blood Death Knight can probably make it work, but I don't think anybody if you're playing Blood Death Knight in Twist, I am not your friend. So, but also it'll be really bad because there's plenty of things that would kill Blood Death Knight before Blood Death Knight actually does anything, which is sometime far in the future. So,
Tito, are you worried about anything with Twist?
I am, and I think they chose the wrong block to start with. Because you want to hype this mode, and we're now going to see quest lines that people just got rid of and probably were sick of. We're going to see leave room stuff that people really just got tired of. We're going to see a lot of things that people were happy to see go, for the most part. Not saying everyone doesn't want to see go. We're going to see Quest Warlock people wanted to see go. We're going to see a lot of things that we just got rid of back in the next, we've only had a break from them for one expansion. So I think that that they chose this one for the first month could potentially get people off the mode. People say, I don't want to do this mode. So that even when they come back with the next format that might be more interesting, people are already going to have this bad taste in their mouth because, last time I did this, I didn't get into it because I didn't want to. Quest Warlock is all of a sudden good again. Whatever. And I think that's going to leave a bad taste in some people's mouths, and I think that's going to be bad for promoting the format right off the bat. So I don't think it was the right choice of a block to start with, but I still hope it does well. I'm still looking forward to it. But that's just my thought. Is it was too soon to bring these things back.
I don't disagree with you, but I also think that including the quest lines in the block actually helps the entry into the format, because you can just start with the quest line, be like, okay, how am I going to build a deck to make this quest line work? I know there's probably going to be people who are going to try to make the Paladin quest line work because there's people like that. There's like the fact that you can probably play the Shaman quest line again, which is honestly one of my favorite quest lines they did before they nerfed it completely and stopped printing overload cards. There we go, words. Also, just a quest warlock, they nerfed that card so hard. It's now 10 per phase. So, like, you have to do 30 damage to yourself to actually get that online. And based on what I've seen, you don't get a chance to actually finish the quest. You use it to get your Flesh Giants 2 mana cheaper. That's what you use that quest for. So,
but you also have the fatigue cards now, which can help with that.
It's true, but I don't think you're getting there because the format seems powerful in a way that doesn't seem completely like wild powerful, where like it's like, because what the problem with wild was like the fact that there were so many cards that like restricted what you could actually play and be competitive with. This, I think it's closing that window, and like you can be competitive with something different, and it also rewards deck building in a way, because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of data sources, and that's my other biggest fear with this mode. It's like the fact that there's going to be a severe lack of data, because I think because Hearthstone Top Decks, a few other websites have already said we're not going to make a deck builder for this mode. We're just going to tweet out lists. It's going to be little, and I know probably Vicious Syndicate, the seasons last only a month. I don't think they're going to have time to do a data report on Twist. So, and that, so that's going to turn a lot of people away, but also excites someone like me that like, okay, you got to know these cards, you got to know your deck, and you got to know what works and what doesn't. And like, okay, you see a list, what's going to tweak it, and you don't, and you may agree with the full 30, or you may agree with like 25 of the cards, and then what are the other 5 cards doing? So, and that's where the skill in the format lies, and that's what I'm excited about.
You also got to factor in the Lore Master Eve effect, where some people, the reason why they're not in duels, the reason why they're not playing wild, is because they dusted all their wild cards for standard, because that's how they maintain their economy into standard. Like Doc has also dusted a lot of wild cards, as he's indicated. But that's a big barrier to entry, where hey, this deck looks cool. That's going to cost me 48,000 dust. No, thank you. I'm just going to go back to standard. So it's an interesting, and I know that they are offering some decks that you can buy with gold or money, which is fantastic. But I buy a mage deck. Okay, I do the mage. I want to try the rogue deck. Now I have to buy a rogue deck too. So I think that's also going to be a problem for folks, because they've already dusted all their cards, or they haven't had invested in that in their collection in that way, and they're not going to want to.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doc.
So because of their very vague tweet before rotation, where they told people, hey, you might want to hold off on dusting your cards because we have this new wild way to play your cards. I can't remember. Don't think they said wild, but they said that they were going to come out with a different way to play with your older cards. I actually held off for this rotation, but this is the only rotation where I haven't dusted any of my cards. So like, I'm really hoping to get some of those battle ready decks, and hoping that they're good. And then maybe if it's a block that I'm super invested in, like I like the sets, I might craft stuff, but it's going to definitely be rough for me to get started back up in Twist for sure.
And I have a feeling that with at least for the first year of Twist, I think Standard is going to be a major part of any card sets they put in. They're going to make Standard, whatever is currently in Standard, whatever 5-6 sets are currently in Standard, they're going to make those part of whatever the format is. Like, they can change the other rules, they can change other twists on the rules. But the block, I think, will include Standard, at least for the first, completely include Standard for at least the first year. So when those cards when the cards that you have in the previous year, which are Sunken City, Nathria, and whatever the third one is. So basically now, March of the Lich King. Now when those cards rotate, then you realize, oh wait, I have this Twist format. I'm going to hold on to these cards so that I can play them in Twist when they bring those sets back into play.
Now, the easy solution is they could add a core set that includes the cards from the older expansions. They're not going to because obviously they want to find a way to monetize it. But that's the easiest solution is, hey, here's the thing. And also, I also don't know. So, Doc, you brought up that they said, hey, save your cards. There's going to be a change in Wild. I don't know if this is it. Because that's supposed to be roadmapped for season 2, for 2. So maybe this is coming early and they're doing it. But I thought that they weren't supposed to give us that Wild thing until the second expansion was out. And maybe I'm wrong. But so what my theory is besides Twist, there's something else that's coming for Wild. And what that means is, no, you don't have to just buy these old packs for Twist. But now I have the opportunity to invest it for Twist and this new Wild format, and there's more value there. So now I have 3 different modes: Wild, Limited, and Twist, which now makes those card packs a lot more valuable because I'm filling 4 formats. Well, 3 formats versus 1. So that's just a theory. No, I have no actual evidence to back that up, but I think they want to find a way to monetize these old packs.
But also, like, if you're also looking to buy your packs for Twist, don't buy the Wild packs. Those are terrible. Do not buy Wild packs ever. Buy the individual sets that you're looking to buy. And, like, honestly, if you're getting back into it, when it's a set you haven't bought yet, just buy 10 packs. You'll get a legendary in that first 10 packs. So
for each set, for each set.
So it's like, and you just like, it's a little bit of gold investment, but you know what? If you want to play the format, you got to do it.
Yep.
And honestly, I think a lot of standard plus decks, will be the more popular decks early on in the format as well. So,
do you remember not too long ago, the surveys went out asking, hey, would you pay $19 a month to get the full sets? I wonder if we're going to see that soon. In specifically in regards to, hey, Twist has been out for a month, guys. I know it's hard to get all these cards. What if you could get all those cards right now? $20 a month? Come on. There might be a play there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Like, it's like, hey, you got this. You own the Hearthstone Pass. Now you get all these cards and then so you stop buying. They don't exist anymore. I could see that. Or like maybe do like a Wild Essentials bundle where it's like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You see bundles when so I had a bundle I wish I would have bought. It was like 30 golden packs for $60 or something like that. It was a really good deal when I hit Legend this month. I wonder if they have Twist ladder bundles too, where it's like, hey, you're now in Diamond Twist. Here's a bundle that's going to get you a bunch of the packs for this. I don't know. They have lots of opportunities here for monetization. It's just they need to pull people in to want to do this format. And I don't know if the format they've chosen first is going to hit. And I don't think that... I hope that they rotate quick enough where people say, oh, this is exciting. Like, oh, now it's all gnomes and mechs and they're all only tribal cards or whatever. And it's like people they need to continue to build up the excitement and not just say, okay, here's the format, rest on their laurels and say, okay, there's another set coming in a month. I almost think the season of a month is too long. I know they're doing a ladder, but given how they want to switch up rule sets, I don't know. We'll see.
So cards that I'm really looking forward to in Twist aren't necessarily in the first block. But like I said, I'm a big Ungoro fanboy. I would love Ungoro to be back. There's just so much fun stuff there. Like being able to have Adapt back. Adapt was a really fun mechanic overall. I'm remembering the Mass Effect character he's based off of. But having I think it was Primal Finn, Zaid, the legendary Paladin Murloc that was based off of Zaid for Mass Effect 2 and 3. Having him back is going to be a lot of fun. Having Cased and Amber. Having the Apothecary and the at the end of your turn, summon like cast a spell out of your deck at random. Like that stuff is like wacky fun Hearthstone that I miss.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like only the primes are the only ones that are coming back for this current block. But I think if we go further back, and I think we will, I'm looking forward to playing some of that old stuff again. Like I was actually shocked when I was doing the research for Squelch, when I looked at what was in and out. I was actually shocked that the old gods from Darkmoon Faire were not going to be playable, were not going to be involved. And also, speaking of cards that I'm excited to play again, my boy Ticketus is going to be great. The best part is if I put the new 30 mana legendary and warlock into the deck, I could play Ticketus uncorrupted and make it slightly better. But also I could corrupt it and burn 5 of my opponent's cards, plus burn more cards with Symphony of Sins. Yes, sign me up. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do it. That's what I'm excited for.
Let's throw in Rin there too.
Yeah, throw in Rin the First Disciple. Throw in, when we go back to Kobolds and Catacombs at some point, I could play with original Rin and pay 42 mana to blow up your deck, or 45 mana to blow up your deck. Yes, please. Let's do it.
So most of us are saying, what cards do we want to play with? Matt saying, I want to play with no cards.
I want to play. I want to play with cards. You don't get to play with cards. That's the way this works. Like you don't get the cards are just burned out of your deck. That's just the way it works. Like I want a treachery. What's that? 5 mana 8/8 that every time you play a card, it burns a card. I'm gonna treachery that over to your side. So if you play cards, it burns cards out of your deck. Yes, thank you.
Oh, I used to love the 3/6 every time. Yeah.
Howl Fiend.
Howl Fiend.
Yeah. Yes. Howl Fiend Defile plays were always fun. Like that's one of the greatest Hearthstone videos of all time. Is when somebody treacheries a Howl Fiend to the other side, plays Defile, and then dances to the 21st Night of September song. So yes.
All right, so Doc, you were talking about that you want Ungoro back. So let's talk this. What rule set and card set would you want for the next twist? So let's say I know they're taking it down after. I think they're taking it down after July, and they're going to bring it back in theory in like September or like I think they're taking a month off after they like kind of get some feedback and adjust it. So we don't know. They're kind of vague about that. But like let's say you get to pick the next set and the next rule set. What are you picking?
Well, not Rastakon's Rumble, because I just didn't really like that set. But so Ungoro, Kobolds and Catacombs, because that's Hearthstone D&D, and that was really fun. Shoot, I'm having a hard time remembering really old sets. I would love for some of the mini sets to come back, like Medivh, when Medivh first came out. Granted, it wouldn't work in this block because he was a neutral card, but at least I think I remember him being a neutral card. But having like Party Medivh back, having a lot of the stuff from Spreading Plague era.
Yes. Knights of the Frozen Throne era, yes.
Yes. So Knights of the Frozen Throne. The one card I'd want from Rastakon's Rumble is Zul'jin.
Yes. Bring all the good hero cards back as a block. That'd be cool.
Yeah, just give them hero cards, because hero cards are fun, and we haven't had one for everybody in a long time. If every class gets one, it's fun, wacky stuff.
Yes.
Death Knight doesn't have one.
They are their own hero card.
Yes,
Let's be real.
They play like they are the hero card. Yes.
But if you were to do a block like that, you would have to give them a hero card first. Otherwise...
I mean, Death Knight can be bad. It's fine.
Yeah, it's been too good for how new it is. I mean, they deserve a little bit of to be in the mudroom for a while.
Yeah.
Shoot, those are the only sets I can think of that like I'd really want back, other than Mean Streets. Try class cards, multiple class cards. So fun.
But what's your rule set? You're talking blocks. What's your rule set?
I don't know. Oh, what would actually be fun is having Genin Baku back, and then just having, and it's just oops, all even odd.
Actually,
and
that would be fun.
Yeah,
I think it would be okay for a month. Yeah.
Yeah. For a month, it's perfect for a month. Yes.
Yeah, and then everyone gets mad at it and it leaves, and it's fine because
It's
you
only
got
a
to do
month.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even odd. That's my bring in Baku back, bring a bunch of sets, even odd it, boom.
Matt, how about yourself? What would your block and rule set be?
All right. Here's the block is one I'm still trying to figure out, but I'm thinking like just go for theme sets, like similar theme sets, like GVG, do
Boomsday.
Boomsday, do like Sunken City has kind of a mech theme going on to with it with the Colossals.
In theory, your next set that you've said is coming.
The next set that's coming soon, that's all mechs. Yes, exactly. I want that. I want like something like that where like the themes are the themes are very tied together. Where it's like, okay, we're doing all this. You have all the mechs in the world to play with, whatever. Here's the twist. Rule set. 40 card. Highlander. All the single, like, if your deck has no duplicate cards, they don't exist. You just play Highlander Hearthstone with 40 cards, 40 health, and that's the rule set, and you have a limited pool, and you have a reasonable sized pool of cards to play from that actually it makes decks that actually make sense and do things, but also is completely off the wall and completely different from what we do in normal Hearthstone on a regular basis. That's what I would love to do. Maybe even like make hero cards available, but you start as the hero card.
I would love that.
40 card commander. I want commander in Hearthstone, where it's like you pick the hero card, that's your commander. That's your portrait and your hero power for the rest of the game. And like battle cries in the hero card don't happen. Great. But also I would just pick Jiraxis and have a 2-mana 6/6 hero power. That's what I would just do. I just hit the button every turn, right? I would do that, but it'd also be a singleton deck that would be, with no of the cards that make singleton decks great. We'd be no Zephyros. There'd be no Reno Jackson. There'd be no like Brand Dragon Tamer. Stuff like that.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
All right, I got 3. I don't care about the card sets. The card sets can be whatever. Rule sets. No Discover.
So like classic Hearthstone.
Classic.
Yes. Like but different cards. Like people are always saying how much they hate the RNG, it's too RNG. And actually I think almost all of my sets are like, just to like prove people wrong, to just shut up. Like, no. RNG is what makes Hearthstone fun. Like the fact that you can and yeah, sometimes you need to pull it back, but no Discovers. Just no Discovers. I think I forgot my second set. The third set I had was no spells.
That'd be boring.
You think so?
I would kind of hate that. I would kind of hate that a lot.
But I think it would be fun. I think it would be because then you have to be kind of creative on how you're going to do your beans, and it would be interesting. I had a third one that I really liked, and I completely spaced it out. So I'm going to remember it before the end of this episode, and I'll try to get it at the end. But anyway.
I got one more. Whatever block they want to do with challenge stone rules, where it's like even and odds, where it's even spells, odd minions, or even minions, odd spells.
Ooh.
I want to do that. I want to do that at one point. Like for a month, that'd be sweet.
I know what my third one was. Start of the game, you get your opponent's deck. So whatever deck you bring is a deck your opponent's playing.
Yeah.
But you can just troll people.
Exactly. Yeah, but they're going to troll you too. So it's going to be a rock fight. It's going to be like, how can you win with the worst decks?
Oops, all 1-drops.
Yes. Everybody just brings Yes Paladin and what's the one all 1 mana spell cards in your deck card.
Oh yeah, the shoot.
Me hungry, you yummy. That card.
Yes, it was the 3/7, right?
It's 4/6, I think. I don't remember.
A trot?
But no, it was
from the Genin Baku set. It was like it looked like Sully from Monsters Inc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just destroyed all the 1-drops in your deck. Yeah.
No, you're talking about Masihara.
No, that's a different card.
Oh, I might have been visualizing the wrong thing.
No, Doc just described Mossy Horror.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were talking about.
And
So
Pilot,
I was definitely visualizing the wrong thing.
and we just gave Pilot, some PTSD. But
So
that's this week's
Skulking
puzzle.
Geist.
Skulking Geist.
yes, okay.
I had to Google it. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually came up with another one. Pauper.
Popper would be great.
Common through epic only, no legendaries.
Actually, I do just limit it to rares, just common and rares, and do that.
Common rares?
They've
That's
done
what
that
we
as a
did.
tavern brawl, and it's always been a blast.
Yeah, we did that in the Blizzard.
I've never done that Tavern Brawl.
That was if you would have come to the Blizzard contest. We did that. One of the decks you had to bring was Pauper. Just commons and rares.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
If only we knew what Smarms thought about that.
Yep.
That's a joke because Daniel didn't have the audio from her on that. Never mind. All right, what's next, Doc?
So the season's going to be a month long. I mean, I think it makes sense. Every other Hearthstone format's a month-long season.
Right.
It just naturally fits in with how the ecosystem that we already understand works. But at least, like, say, if there's like a really, for whatever reason, like toxic, unfun season of Twist, it's only a month long. It's not like Standard where we have to deal with it for 3 months to a year and a half.
Yeah. Or they're a lot better at like balancing in Standard, where it's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
not as big of a deal, but it's also like you're still playing with the same cards. Yeah, I think a month long perfect. I was actually under the impression that like seasons, like the card blocks would last longer. The rules would change per month. So like it would be like New Age for like 3 months, but like okay, now only like odd cost cards are available or something stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
So blocks can stay similar. The twist can change every month, and I'd be ecstatic. So
And I agree, but I think that is too long, at least initially, because I don't think they should do a full ladder, because that's like another grind. I think they want it to be fun. I think they should do like a half kind of ladder, but
they should just
I think
do what they do in Battlegrounds, where it's just a number.
maybe. But I think the problem is if someone gets into everybody wants to be into Twist. Everyone's kind of excited on a macro level. Like I haven't heard anybody say I don't want to do this. Most people are like I want to do this, but if it goes on for a month and people like on day 2 are like I don't like this format, again I'm worried it's going to die because people didn't latch onto it. And I think that if a whole month goes by of a set that they don't want to play or a rule set they don't want to play, then they're not going to go back even if the rule set sounds interesting. So I'm worried that it might be too long, but I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, not to like argue with you, but people play Standard in metas they don't like for longer than a month. And like sometimes if they don't like it, they back off and play something else. And then when balance changes happen, they come and check it out again. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's always going to be like an ebb and flow of player population in whatever mode. But with how quickly Twist is going to change, I don't think that'll be as big of an issue that you think it is. And I hope I'm right, because I want alternate game modes in Hearthstone to succeed, because the game deserves that. Mm-hmm.
But Doc, 2 points. One, you're supposed to argue with me. This is a podcast. If we all agree all the time, it's boring. 2, I think that's why Duels wasn't successful, because even though they've made moderate adjustments, and now that nothing's locked behind the mini sets, and now that you have all the hero powers right away, and whatever it is, a lot of people didn't get into the mode initially because of issues with it, as far as card collection, as far as how some things worked. And now that they've made all the improvements and it's a lot more fun, it's still not that big of a mode. So I think that the impression that people get early on is going to dictate whether or not they stay in it or not. And that's what I worry about. Like, I don't want it to be Duels again, because Duels is awesome. I don't even play Duels a lot, but like again, for the same kind of things, I just never really got into it. And I have almost the whole collection. I'm not Guy Grumpy, but I'm not. I haven't dusted my entire wild set either. So that's what I'm worried about. I just want to not let it get in its own way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know. I think it'll be fine. And like, I'm going to transition to the next question, where like, what if there's a problem card that's that is in Twist that is not a problem in Standard? What they're going to do? They're just going to ban it. They're just going to put that big red banned card on thing on top of the card, and it's going to be fine. My thing that I want to happen is like, because I still play duels every once in a while. Whatever the Twist block set is, make that the block set for duels.
Yes.
Because like I want to like play duels with different sets. I was hoping that duels would be this format where they have a block, whatever the card block is the duels block. You know, it rotates on a regular basis. They haven't done that. It's whatever block, and it's just been this block plus whatever's new forever now. And I've kind of fallen off duels a little bit. I'd like to play duels again, and I'd like to have that completely crazy mode with whatever the block set is in Twist. Because honestly, for me, Twist is going to be my new game, my new main mode that I play. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So, prediction: is Twist going to be successful, Matt?
yes, because I'm already excited to play it, and I would love to play it, and I will play it every day. So for me, it's a success. If other people are playing, and I'm playing against bots after a couple months, yeah, maybe not. But for me, like the fact that it exists, and I think they're not going to let that happen. They're not going to let what happened to Classic happen to Twist, because they actually want a mode where people actually play. So
I always thought with Classic they were going to kind of move through the metas. Like we were then going to get okay, now we're at Nax, now we're at this, and then just kind of progress along like Classic is doing with Warcraft, and then eventually, hey, we're going back to Classic. I thought that made a lot of sense, but they just left it there.
Yeah, like a time walking format would have been fun, but I think this is more fun. This is a more fun way to play the actual game, and they could make the rule and Twist like for a month, for like one of the months is. Yeah, it's just these sets. There's no restrictions, and you're just going to play because and they could actually make a rule set that is, yeah, you're playing Classic, but every card gives you a discover or something stupid, that actually might be terrible. That actually might be the worst idea I've ever had.
Don't make Rogue better, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
Every card adapts.
Adapts.
I would love if every minion adapted. That'd be so much fun.
And especially if they give rush and or lifesteal.
Yep. Could you imagine playing a Ragnaros with adapt and lifesteal? It's just Ragnaros Light Lord.
Yeah, and Death Lord.
Perfect. Yeah, and Fire Lord. Just
I was about to say we're about to get Broomstick back, but we're not because it's a neutral.
No, it's a neutral card.
Doc, is this format going to be successful in your opinion?
I really want it to be. I'm going to say yes, just because I really want it to be. I really hope it doesn't go the way of Classic and Mercenaries. Granted, Mercenaries is still going to be alive, well, on live support indefinitely, but Classic's gone.
That's the other big news, by the way.
Oh wait, is Mercenaries actually going away too?
No, it's coming off the main screen. They're replacing it with Tavern Bro.
Yeah, where it should be.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Mercenaries is going in the junk drawer with everything else.
Didn't it used to be on the main screen?
Yes.
Like way back when?
Yeah.
And then for like a day it was not there because they were resetting and everything.
And to be clear, Twist is just replacing Classic, so it's when you decide which kind of mode you're playing or which kind of deck you're building, you can pick either Standard, Wild, or Classic. Now it's going to be Standard, Wild, or Duels. So there's not a button for it. It's just going to be Hearthstone. That's what I call it?
What a
Duels.
Oh, yeah.
What a twist.
What a twist.
Anyway.
Well, Doc, I should probably answer too. I don't think it's going to be successful. I think it's going to start off like gangbusters, and then I think it's going to fade. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I really want it to be successful. This is something I'm looking forward to. But I'm worried. I don't think it's going to latch on like they do, especially specifically because of the high cost of entry for a lot of people with limited collections. So I think that's going to be this. I think it's going to go the same way as Duels, where there's going to be people that love it, that are going to be like our chalkers and our Danos that just love Duels of Thralaman. Those kind of people that like think it's the hottest thing since sliced bread, but I think it's just going to be a limited group of people that really love it, and most people are going to fall off because it's going to require something they're not willing to invest in. But all this talk of twisting, I'm still a little hungry. I think it's time for the main course. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So, Warlock. I know there's a little. We've talked a little bit of Warlock, and there's a little twist from where we started. But Matt is probably the closest thing I know to a Warlock main. So before we even get to the topic, are there any Warlock mains out there? Because like we know there's like Sidisi and Hatrick and like other people like that main Hunter, and you got like Draco Cat who does Demon Hunter. You get Zeddy who's kind of become a Death Knight main. You have Wicked Good who's like kind of a priest main. I couldn't tell you somebody. You get Noodle Swoop who's Paladin. I couldn't tell you somebody that's a Warlock main. So you are the closest person I know to a Warlock main. So are there Warlock mains out there?
No, honestly, I haven't found any that I like are consistent. Like, hey, I play Warlock and Warlock exclusively. I don't even do that, but like, because I play what's fun, and right now Warlock's not fun. But like, yeah, like as for like I only have as for like the Fibonacci of like Fibonacci was the warrior main for a while. Zetalot is the priest main. There's nobody like that I know. Like Alu Timu was for a while, but I think he's moved on to Battlegrounds mostly. So it's like, yeah, there's no set Warlock main in Hearthstone that I'm aware. So I guess it's me. There's also like, I don't build that many Warlock. I just take whatever's given to me and like I see and I play it and I have opinions on it usually. And like most of the time it doesn't work for me as well as it does for some people. But like, I don't know. I have like 3,500 Warlock wins. I have more now that I played a bunch of it in Classic against bots. But yeah, I guess I am. If you need a Warlock main, if you need a Warlock deck, give me a call. I'll find something that looks fun. It might be fun. It may not win a lot of games, but it'll be fun.
All right. So attention, all up-and-coming content creators. If you are looking for a niche and want to latch onto a class, there seems to be a wide open space here for you to take advantage of.
I mean, then again, also like we just like we tend to hurt ourselves when we do this because we get a card that takes 2 life and 2 mana. So
yeah,
just keep hitting the button.
and Matt has the tattoo to prove it. So Matt, yes. Warlock does appear to be the worst class in the game right now, but it has some great cards. So what's wrong with Warlock?
A lot of those great cards are really great, but like it's just they don't. There's lots of different strategies in Warlock right now. You got your Curse package, you got your Imp package, you got your big Undead package with Chad Warlock, and you have some Murlocs thrown in there. You have some other stuff thrown in, like some other chaff thrown in. The problem is none of those like ideas gel together. It's like you're like whenever you're building a Warlock deck, you're building like 2 half decks to make it work. Like Imp Warlock is probably the closest thing to an actual deck that we have. Chad Warlock's the closest thing to an actual deck we have. But the problem is Imp Warlock gets run over by other board-based aggressive decks like Paladin does a really nice job against Imp Warlock. Outcast DH does a fantastic job against Warlock, and just the like Imp Warlock, and the board and the more off-board decks can push that board off. They can push the deck off the board pretty easily. Chad Warlock, there's no reason to play Chad Warlock anymore because Druid does it now better in every possible way. Like it does it faster, it does it more consistently, and it does it like it makes the end game state happen more often. So if you're thinking, oh, I can make Chad Warlock work, like if you really want to play Thaddeus sooner than you're supposed to, well, guess what? Play Druid, because that's it's a lot easier to make it happen. It's a lot more consistent and has a lot more tools to support it. And that's part of the problem with Warlock is they have ideas, they don't have background tools to make the ideas work as well. Like the fatigue package is a great support package, but it's still not good enough. And the fatigue package also really works well with Imp Warlock, not any of the other Warlock ideas. So,
and as like Zacho says, no one wants to play the 7th best aggro deck. You're going to play the first.
Yes,
or second
exactly.
And the other thing is we've been doing imps for a while, so it's not even really taking advantage of the new set outside from a couple cards with the fatigue package, and people get tired of playing the same deck. So, what would Team 5 need to do to make Warlock more fun and viable?
More cards. That's it. Honestly, just more cards. 4-set metas has been traditionally poor for Warlock. Going all the way back to Ungoro. Ungoro Warlock was quite unplayable. It was probably the worst class then. Go back to Barons. Barons Warlock was terrible. Was completely unplayable. Go back to Sunken City when the best Warlock deck was Murloc Warlock, and that was really inconsistent and also terrible. So it's like there's a consistent theme with Warlock not having enough cards to make the decks work in 4-set metas, and I think we're there. And this is exactly where we're at with this current setup. So,
well, I mean, even in Classic, most of Warlock was like a lot of neutral cards, and a lot like Zoo was like not all that.
Yeah, Zoo. Zoo is the only class cards in the current Zoo deck that I played in Classic last week was Flame Imp, Voidwalker, Doomguard, Soulfire. That's it. Those are the only class cards I played. The rest are all neutrals.
And they kind of suffer from they kind of suffer from the same thing that Shaman does, right? Shaman is either broken or terrible, like depending on what that set is.
Yeah, but sometimes when Warlock's mid, Warlock is like mid-level, it's doing pretty good. Like it's still like the second best class to do a lot of things. So like you play it because you actually want to play the class. But like that control, like when Control Warlock was good, it was like probably the second or third best control deck. When Zoo Warlock was good, it was probably the second or third best aggro deck or board-based aggro deck. When like Combo Warlock, like one of my favorite decks of all time was Plot Twist Combo Warlock. That was probably like the third or fourth best combo deck in the format, but it was like so much fun to play it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where we live. But like when we're good, we're really good and almost too good. Because like a lot of people complain about one of my favorite decks of all time, which is the Quest Handlock from Stormwind. That was a really, really good deck. That version of the deck is not my favorite deck. I played a lot of that deck, but my favorite version of the deck was when we got the announcement of Sunken City and Blade Master Okani was in the deck. You know, that version of the deck, like that particular set of 30 cards is the one that I have golden, and I still have golden and will forever have golden, because it seriously is one of the greatest like decks that I've ever played. And it was like at the time it was mid-tier, like because everything else was happening, and it was still good. He still won me games. I got the legend with it, but it's you know, like that's where I want Warlock to be. I want to be like the third or fourth best class in the meta, and right now we're the seventh or ninth. We're not. I haven't looked at the HS replay front page stats, even though those are meaningless. But I think, you know, we're probably mid, but like none of the decks we do are that fun or that much better than anything else. So
That's fair. And remember, Rod used to cost 4. Like a lot of times they overtune a lot of Warlock cards, but sometimes they get nerfed
No, it used to
twice.
cost 3.
Was it 3? Yeah, it was 3. You're right.
It was 3 at one point. They nerfed it twice.
Card's
So
insane.
yeah, I also hated that version of Rod. I didn't like that version of Rod. I don't think I that's one of the cards I did not like to play, but I played it because it was available to me.
Yeah, I don't hate that card when I'm using it for evil.
No,
all right, so
true.
now we mentioned this in the Twist talk where it would pair well with Ticketus, but in Standard, do you think Rin can be a good card depending on what they pair it with? Like, it seems like it's an interesting card, but it also seems like it's very niche. Can you build something around it if they give you some support for it?
I love Rin. I love the card tremendously. I was doing some fun stuff in the Tavern Brawl this week where like I was reverberating Rin. So like I had 2 copies of Rin that took 1 damage and then things happened.
Gross.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's also Tavern Brawl against the computer, so like I didn't feel that bad, but also I was hurting myself in the process. Rin is a card that's super fun, super cool, but it will never ever be good. Like there's no chance it can be good, and I don't think it's a card that you actually want to be good. Like if it was good, I think the card would be like one of the most like it would be as hated as Elucia was hated back in the day.
And
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the reason
Like,
why it
where
won't
it's
be
like-
good is because we don't have a Warlock main to figure it out.
It's true. It's the fact that it burns 2 cards out of my deck. Whatever. It's the 2 cards in hand that really bother me. It's the discarding 2 cards out of my hand that really bother me. Except for like, especially when there's really like, there's only like, there's not as many good discard payoffs in Standard. So, in Wild and Twist, sure, could probably make it work, but it still doesn't crack the list in Wild, and it probably never will. And in Twist, I've actually tried building a discard Warlock, and there might be something there. I don't know. I'm willing to try it and lose a few stars on it. So,
So you can't
but I
lose
don't think
stars.
I don't think Rin's a card you ever want to be actually a good card.
You can't lose stars when you're
At
at
this
the
rank
bottom
is-
of the rank. Yeah. Oh, and a good
Yes.
point is the first season is only going to be a few days long, like 4 days long. If you decide that you really want to get involved in Twist, even if you can't make Legend in those 4 days, you can play a lot of games and you can improve your star rating for the next one. So if you have the opportunity
also
to
found-
do so.
Yeah. And don't bother grinding Classic right now because you're just going to reset back to Diamond 10 when the new ladder happens. Because I did ask that question like when I was in the middle on the way up to Legend. It's like, am I doing anything? Is this going to help my star multiplier? They're like, no, you're just going to reset back to 10, but you'll get the rewards for hitting Legend and Classic. So I'm like, okay, that works for me.
A good point. Somehow, some way, they have said that the achievements that you could earn in Classic that you will no longer be able to do because Classic mode doesn't exist. You will be able to earn them in Twist. I don't know how that's going to work or when that's going to work, but if you're like, I never finished that achievement and I want to, you're still going to be able to. So it's going to be a little different. It's going to feel kind of cheesy because you're not doing it in the actual mode that it was designed for, but they will still be able to be completed. So let me ask you this, Matt. Team 5 calls you up, says, what do you want us to do with Warlock for the rest of the year? What do you tell them?
Bring back Touch of the Nathrezine, please. That's all I want. I miss that card tremendously. Like that, like deal 2, heal for 3 for 1 mana. That was like an incredible card, and it tied so many things together, and it made like control Warlock and like board based Warlock work really well. Is that, and also like there's needs to be like a unification of like an a unification of or some sort of way to tie the different ideas together, or have an idea that actually works as the main idea. I honestly don't know what they're going to do. I honestly have this is why I'm not a game designer. I have no idea how to make it better. But I think they're going to find a way. Like maybe make the fatigue cards actually build towards something, where like okay, like maybe it's like the damage we do is now directed elsewhere, or There's ways to heal that aren't like a weapon that really don't want to put in my deck, but I kind of have to, otherwise I'm going to kill myself by playing these fatigue cards. I don't know. I think there just needs to be like a unification of some sort of like coming together that makes the different ideas make sense. And like I don't want curses, any more curses. I don't want. I do maybe we go back to discard and make discard work, and it's. But then again, that would also break the wild deck again. So I don't think they want to do that. Maybe we get to try Fell Warlock for once. If they do, it's going to break my heart because honestly, like they're going to like do it for a set and forget about it, and I'm going to be mad again. And so I'm just hoping for a fun, playable Warlock deck that makes sense, and actually the biggest thing we're missing in Warlock is Giants. There's no Giants. I can't play a version of Handlock in Standard. I think that's my biggest thing. It's like I can't play I don't have any Giants that I can put in my deck that if I tap on 4 or I tap on 3 and play something big on 4. I want to do that. I can't do that currently. So.
And they have said that the core set is not locked in, and they're willing to make changes in the core set through the year. So I wonder if that is an additional way they may adjust. If they decide, hey, we're going to throw some discard cards into the 5th set, maybe they bring some discard cards back from core or something. So that is an interesting.
Or Mountain Giant and Twilight Drake. Just give me those two. Just give me those 2 cards, so I can. And Mountain Giant, Twilight Drake, and Sunfear Protector. That's all I want in Warlock forever.
Oh, I had one more rule set for Twist. Sorry, going back last segment. Bring all the cards that were specially created for Arena for a month.
That'd be fun.
I don't even know if
the ones that weren't. Including the ones that weren't voted on.
Yeah, because back in the day they had this thing where it's like, hey, here's a bunch of cards, vote on them, and then like we brought a subset of a Giant set into Arena. Yeah, just. I don't know if they'd still be good. I don't even remember what they would be, but like bring them all back. Let's have some fun and all that. Yeah. So one thing that has been talked about long over the years is that Warlock has probably the most broken hero power. Take 2 damage, grab a card. Do we still feel nowadays that it's the best hero power, that it's the most broken hero power, and do you think they need to rework it ever, or what do you think?
Personally, no, it's perfect. Like deal 2 damage to yourself and draw a card is perfect. It is exactly like life tapping in WoW when I played Warlock in Classic. It is exactly like what you want to do when you play Warlock. And like I played Gul'dan and Hots, and life tapping was cool. Like being on that edge of like, okay, I'm going to take a bunch of damage, but I need that extra mana to push the damage so I can kill the dude before he kills me, and that balancing life total. I think that the part of it is like there's not enough good healing in Warlock currently. That's why the hero power kind of feels bad. But I think like when that happens again, like when Warlock feels broken is when the hero power doesn't matter. Like the hero power is part of the reason why you win the game. Like you're on the balancing edge of damage, and like your balancing edge of putting out your minions based on whatever you're doing with your hero power and your life total, and like, okay, I'm doing 3 damage to myself on turn 1, but I have a 3/2 that you can't remove easily on turn 1, and I'm hitting you for 3 to 6 damage. There's a motorcycle in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, but or something. I don't, like maybe a drone. I don't know. But where was I? Like the early plays in Warlock where you're doing self-damage, like especially in Quest Warlock, where you're doing self-damage to yourself and you're riding that edge of fine line of like, yeah, I'm going to die, but also I'm doing enough powerful things that I'm going to kill you in the process or kill you before I actually die. That's the balance edge. And like Warlock is the class that uses life as a resource, should be using life as a resource the most. I don't feel like we're doing that. And that's part of why maybe that's something we should do in the answer to the previous question as well. Maybe we should doing more of that in the next set. Like we're doing it with the fatigue cards, because those are perfect Warlock cards in my opinion. The fatigue cards are perfect Warlock cards. I want to continue along that line, and I think When the hero power is contributing to the game plan as opposed to hurting that game plan is when the hero power feels broken, but it's honestly one of the perfect hero powers in the game. So don't touch it. Don't make it cost 3, wild people. It doesn't need to cost 3. And besides, I can't change my tattoo. I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
You just gotta get the second one. If they change it, you just put the second one on the other side.
Yeah, just cross out the 2 and put a 3 in. You know? That'll look good.
Some people they cross out the name of their current girlfriend. It goes all the way down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we talked a little bit, like you said, you want to do Ticketus Warlock, and we've talked a little bit how the quest might be interesting. What decks are you looking forward to in Twist with Warlock?
So Warlock feels like the only one of the few decks that actually can possibly do an aggro deck, because losing all those neutral cards, actually hampers aggro significantly in Twist. There's you can do Imp Warlock things, because Imp Warlock's a full deck, plus you can do some cool things on top of it. You can do quest with Fan Totem at the top, Fan Totem of the Opera at the top, and then you can bring back Quest Warlock with the Mountain Giants and everything. You lose the Wind Fury game plan, but that's fine. Ticketus Warlock, Control Warlock may actually be a thing. I'm not sure what the win condition is yet. It might just be Ticketus that just might be what Ticketus Warlock looks like. Is Control Warlock. I'm looking forward to trying that. But you only get one Ticketus because you don't get your charge to bring back the second Ticketus and all the other corrupt cards that you played. But there's enough removal. There's enough healing. I think there's enough healing baked in the set. Touching the Nathrazine, a bunch of other cards that came through. You can almost, I think just good stuff Warlock might actually be good. Like you just play the best cards in each mana cost and try that. That might actually work out pretty well. But yeah, I think Quest Warlock's going to be the leader in the clubhouse, and I think Imp Warlock might be one of the more popular decks. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think Discard might actually have enough to make it work. It's almost there.
You hear that, Daniel? He doesn't hear it. He's not listening. But the interesting thing is Ticketus coming back, I think, is going to be very interesting, because Ticketus was beloved by all and never caused any
It's so
controversy.
polarizing. It's such a polarizing card. I love it so much.
All right, so do you have any final thoughts on Warlock before we wrap up here today?
No, I just want to play Giants and Life Tap, and I want to play Life Tap on 2 and 3 and play Giant on 4. That's what I want to do. Can I just that's to me that's playing Handlock again made me original or whatever the updated combo Handlock is.
Matlock.
It's Handlock. Playing that deck again made me realize why I love this class so much. It's just give me a chance to play, to just Life Tap on 2 and 3 and play too many stats on 4. Or have a thing with a gigantic butt on 4, or and then taunt them up, and then okay, good luck. If you play Handlock like a control deck, you're going to lose the game. It's a slower tempo deck that does damage by punching you in the face with 8/8 on 2. It plays like Druid in a way, where you play bigger things before you're allowed to. So, but you're also playing with the life total as opposed to just drawing your ramp cards like Druid. So.
Well, you heard it here. Matt only wants his demons 34, 36, 34, only if they're 5/3.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Doc, any thoughts on Warlock before we move on?
It is the class it is, and I will always hate losing to it.
There we go.
Because I've just always hated losing to Warlock. It's been one of my least favorite classes to lose to.
See, whenever I faced a hunter, I would just intentionally let myself get down to 10 life in Classic, just so I could play Mountain Giants for free, taunt them up, and then heal, and be like,
so mean,
and be like, yeah, thanks, buddy, I appreciate that.
I think the interesting thing with Twist coming back is I think we're going to think of these decks that we used to love, or people used to love or hate or whatever. And we're going to not realize that there were a lot of neutral cards that were the glue to some of these decks.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, there's no. I just had a panic attack when we were talking about losing a Warlock. That I hate Forge Fiend, Moag Forge Fiend, but that's a neutral card. That one can't hurt me anymore. So there's gonna be a lot of those. Yeah.
Yeah, like Lifesteal Demon Hunter can't exist because Forge Fiend is not in the format.
Right. Ooh, but we are getting Illy Dilly back, right? I mean, not Illy Dilly. Il'gynoth.
Yeah, Il'gynoth will be in the format, but you can't do the combo Lifesteal Death. You have to make Il'gynoth an actual minion that actually does things on the board. So.
Well, it's hero power, right? I mean, it's spell power on him.
No, Il'gynoth is just whatever lifesteal, but there is a way to like play Il'gynoth and give yourself a bunch of lifesteal damage with your hero power and hit them in the face for double damage.
Or Arcanist into Unleash Fel.
Arcanist is not available because Arcanist is a neutral card.
Good point, but Unleash Fel still is.
Yes.
So I don't know, it'll be interesting. It's one of those things where it's like you think like, this deck's coming back, deck's coming back, but with the exception of something like a Pure Paladin, there may be key cards that are missing. That you're not even thinking about right now. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But no, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fun. It'll be a fun format and a fun few weeks trying to figure it out. So, and by the time we get to find it and love it, it's gonna be gone, and I'll be sad.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, Doc, I'm full. That was a lot. We've talked a lot tonight, but I think I have a little room for dessert. What do you think?
Yeah, dessert sounds good. So gentle listeners, please leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing, because it helps us like make the show better and helps with visibility. So reviews are appreciated, and we'll read them out on the show. Matt, so a new question this time around.
Ooh.
What's your favorite dessert?
the dessert. It sounds terrible, and like it sounds like, but like like the nutter butter, the big nutter butters from the gas station. Give me those. That's my dessert. Like, just give me that in like a Arizona iced tea, and I'm like a Arnold Palmer, and I'm that's what I'm gonna settle down for dessert tonight with. So.
When I was in Iraq, my mom used to send me the Nutter Butters, the Little Debbie Nutter Butters, and I could trade those for just about anything. Those were currency to me.
Yes, those are the greatest snack food ever, and will probably kill me at some point.
Matt, where can people find you?
Find me in your local Hearthstone Discord. I'm Twist Lord MattAtArms, probably now. I used to be Eridar Lord MattAtArms. I'm Twist Lord MattAtArms now. Twitter, MattAtArms on Twitter. I'm on one of the Mastodon instances. It's links in my bio. I barely use that. I'm on Twitch very rarely at MattAtArms. And can listen to my podcast where I talk about Hearthstone and food a lot on Squelch.
And sometimes you even tell your podcast hosts when they'll be on.
Rarely, every once in a while. This is what happens when I'm in charge. I just don't tell people that they'll need to show up for this week because I have other plans.
Where can people find you, Doc?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Doc McButt. And how about yourself, Tito?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Tito Santana HS. And Matt, is there anybody you'd like to shout out this week?
Shout outs to Dano for coming back from vacation, Storm Rage for dealing with my stupidness, and weird shout out, but a gentleman by the name of Fox Liam. He is a baseball player for the West Side Mammoths, which is one of the teams I watched today. It was his first game. He went 3 for 3, hit a home run, hit a double, and he's a guy that was like, I looked him up on Twitter, and he's like, I'm just looking for a shot in any professional baseball environment, and he comes in and he has a killer night, and it's fun to watch.
Fair enough. Doc, how about yourself?
Yeah, gotta thank Matt. Thanks for coming out here again, hanging out with us. You're always a pleasure, whether it be in podcast format or just Twitter or Discord. So thank you for being who and how you are.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And what about yourself, Tito?
Again, I'll echo what you said about Matt. We love Matt. This will not be hopefully the last time he's ever on our podcast. We hope to have him on regularly. I also want to shout out Edelweiss this week, who was on Blizzlet and really gave a introspective on what it means to be a trans person, especially now in gaming and just in general the internet and in the world. and it was really eye-opening. Even if you think you know, you don't know. So give that a listen, and just educate yourself. It's like, I know a lot of people say educate yourself, and people are like, well, I don't read, I'm not gonna pick up a book. You don't have to. Open your ears, listen to it as you're driving to work. And
Yeah, and especially listen. And I'm going to add to that. Especially listen what Edelweiss and Smarms ask of you in that episode, where
Yes.
they ask a few specific things, and that like it's as if you want to be the best friend and ally that you can for anyone who's dealing with who's like who is who they are. Just ask them what they need, and that's specifically, and try to do that the best you can in your life.
And like one thing they do say is, so I never had the pronouns on my bio because I'm a dude. I don't think I need them. You know who I am. I'm not trying to. I don't have any conflict as far as my identity. I'm me. But the fact that what they ask is, well, no, of course not. We know you're a guy. But by having those pronouns out there, it normalizes that other people don't have the same pronouns, and it makes it more common for you to it makes everyone more comfortable, because then if you are saying it, then if they're saying it too, and whatever, it makes it so it's just more normalized. And it's just little things like that you don't really think about, that you learn a lot. So please go listen to it. And also, one final shout out to Alkali Lake, who is no longer at Team 5. We're going to miss her greatly. She'll still be on Twitter. We'll find out what she's doing next. She left, apparently, it wasn't like drama-filled. She just had a different opportunity. So we're very excited for her, and we are going to miss her. She's done a lot for the community in the short time she was at Blizzlet. So shout out to her. Again, she's not listening, but it was great to work with you where we could. But I think that's about it. I think we're toast, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Pop.
Slide two brothers meet one another when they slide up to the mic. It's bread and butter with one another. Let's start up that recording light.